Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for being here today. For those of you who are new, if you are interested in tarot cards, tarot readings, true crimes, unsolved cases, and maybe even the occasional candle video, please consider liking and subscribing. I so appreciate it. Okay, so I don't even know where to begin today. I had to do this video today. It is Friday. I wanted to do this video a couple of days ago, but I just haven't really been feeling well and just kind of under the weather. But nothing serious, just a regular cold. But I don't know. I had to do this case sooner than later. It's been a while now, but this case was a requested case. And you probably know already, we're talking about Karina McClurklin, who was a young lady, 18 years old, who went missing from Kokomo, Indiana in 2016, last seen on October 11th. So this was a requested case by a viewer. Now, I had been writing down all these requests on a little index card. I have index cards all over the place. I must have misplaced it because I could not find this card with all these cases that had been requested. So a couple weeks ago, I did put out there that I had lost the index card that I had saved all these things on and these requests, and if anybody had a request, again, maybe they could just rewrite it in the comment section. However, I was cleaning out my phone the other day, and sure enough, I was deleting some things, and I came upon a screenshot, and it was this case. Okay, so I'm cleaning out my phone, and I see I had taken a screenshot, and it was the woman who requested this case, and then I had the name, and I said, okay, now I completely had forgotten about this. So glad that I found this screenshot that I had saved on my phone, and I looked it up. I proceeded to look up Karina McClurklin. First of all, I had no idea who this person was. I had no idea that this young girl went missing from Kokomo, Indiana. It's about an hour and a half away from me. I live in Indiana, but northern Indiana. So I have been to Kokomo many times in my life, driving through trying to get to Indianapolis. So I'm coming from the north end. It's about, like I said, an hour and a half to Kokomo. Kokomo's kind of that halfway period. You know that when you've made it to Kokomo, you're almost to Indianapolis kind of area. It's an okay town. I've never had any, issues with it. But I was really shocked to see that this case was this young 18-year-old girl, beautiful, sweet-looking young lady from someplace that's literally a hop, skip, and a jump from where I live. Really, truly disgusted with this case and how the police department has conducted themselves in relations to searching for this young woman as well as communicating with the family. So what I want to do is I have her information up on the Charlie Project. I'm going to go ahead and read that, and then a couple of little other things that I want to mention about the case, just simply because I'm disgusted. But and not disgusted with I'm just disgusted with the police department because, man, I don't even know what to say on this one. They have really dropped the ball on this. I don't know what the reasoning is behind it. I don't know. Well, before I go too far and get really pissed off, let me just read the background information on Karina McClurklin. So Karina McClurklin has been missing since October 11th, 2016 from Kokomo, Indiana. Classification is considered an endangered missing person. Sex, female. Race, black. Date of birth, September 26, 1998. Age, 18 years old at the time of missing. Height and weight, 5'4", 130 pounds. Clothing, jewelry description. She was seen wearing a black midriff shirt, a gray hooded sweatshirt, ripped jeans, and brown sandals. Medical conditions: McClurklin has a history of substance abuse. We'll get into that a little bit later because I don't like how they worded that. And distinguishing characteristics: African American female, brown red hair, brown eyes. McClurklin's ears are pierced and she wears prescription eyeglasses. She has 2 tattoos, the letters RIP with angel wings on her right upper arm and a round symbol on the inside of her right forearm. Photos of McClurklin's tattoos are posted below. In the case summary, her nickname is Ree. So, yeah, I don't know what they're talking about for summary. They don't really have much of anything. Let me read the details of the disappearance. McClurkin was last seen in the 1000 block of South Washington Street in Kokomo, Indiana on October 11th, 2016. She left her wallet and identification behind and has never been heard from again. She was dealing with substance abuse at the time of her disappearance and was considering admitting herself into a rehabilitation facility in Florida, but hadn't finished filling out the paperwork by the time she disappeared. McClurkin's family believes she may be dead and her case remains unsolved. I don't know how many times they put in here that this girl has some sort of drug issue. They've put it in here like twice. They make it sound like, I don't know. I'm looking at it. You know, I have 3 boys, and this girl is would be the same age as my middle son. And I don't know. Are they talking about an occasional drink? Are they talking about weed? Is it I don't know what they're talking about as far as the drugs are concerned. So, I hope that has nothing to do with why the police aren't doing their job as far as this young woman is concerned. Are they putting her on the back burner because they don't find that it's important? I don't know. I hope not. I do want to add here as well, the Kokomo Police Department's number is 765-456-7326. So if anybody is watching this and they do have any information, please contact the Kokomo Police, and hopefully they'll follow up on anything that you give them as far as information. So, and also, I do want to talk a little bit about the officer who is in charge of Karina's case right now. So there's an officer by the name of Richard J. Benzinger. Okay, he is, I think, the top dog guy as far as Karina's case. Now, some of the stories that I have come across on YouTube, and believe me, there aren't very many, okay, because this case is not very popular. You can't really just, go down a rabbit hole like you can with other cases because there just isn't enough information to do it. And 98% of the information that is out there is put out there from the family, okay? So there isn't really a whole lot of media coverage, nothing. And so from now on, I will be covering this case just as often as I cover the Delphi case, okay? So this is just as important, just as horrific, just as sad. Both of these cases, we're looking at 4 or 5 years now on both of these cases, and they really should be solved. So this is going to actually be a regular on this channel from now on, and we'll see what kind of information that we can get with the cards each and every time. But I am going to also, I do want to put in there before I forget, I am going to be putting in Karina's case number in case you do have any kind of tips or information and you need to contact the Kokomo Police Department. You can add her case number to it, because otherwise somebody's going to answer the phone and not know what the hell you're talking about or who you're talking about, and they're going to write a note and nothing is ever going to happen. So if you have a case number, sometimes that can kind of clear up what's going on. Although Kokomo is a fairly small town, you would think that they would be familiar with Karina McClurkin if you said her name on the phone. But since these people are completely incompetent, it's hard to tell. So I just wanted to say that. So we have this detective guy, Richard J. Benzinger. I did a little bit of research on him, and police officers, their salaries are public, right? So you can go and you can Google it online. I'm going to put it up on the screen. This man brought in 2019, $72,000 for that year, okay? The year that Karina went missing, he made $65,000. So since Karina's missing, okay, since her date of last being seen, his salary has increased, okay, by quite a bit, actually. Most people don't go up that many thousands of dollars within a 4 or 5 year span. Most people like you and I, we get 20 cents here. Maybe on a big whopper raise, it's 50 cents, right? He has his income has increased. However, I don't know what he's doing in return for that income. I hate to be, I'm just so angry right now. I'm so angry because this police department, including Richard Benzinger, has been nothing but rude, nasty, despondent, negligent, and unprofessional to this young girl's family. When a grandmother goes into a police department to simply ask for an update on her granddaughter's case, and in return, all you get is unprofessionalism, nastiness, rude language, the way you're saying it, the way you respond to this person who is grieving, that really pisses me off. That really makes me mad. Really, really makes me mad. This grandmother has been treated like crap by that police department, and so has the father. So I don't know what's going on with Kokomo Police Department, but you guys suck right now. You guys aren't doing your job. And for other people who are not a part of that town, who don't know this case, that are from the outside looking in, if we can come to that conclusion, then there's something wrong. Because I had not heard about this girl up until a couple of days ago. And just from the little bit of research that I have done on this case, I can even see that you aren't doing your job, that you aren't doing what you're supposed to be doing, and that you aren't treating this family like they deserve to be treated. So shame on you. Shame on you for making $72,000 a year and not doing any damn thing to earn it. Shame on you. I'm just disgusted with this police department. That's all I have to say. So, I'm just, this one has hit me in a different way. I don't know if it's because, I think it's just because the way Karina looks and is, literally she could be my own child, and I think that just really hits home for me. Just a sweetheart looking young girl, and I think that her case has just been whatever, it's forgotten, it's thrown off on the back shelf, just thrown off on the back shelf with a incompetent police department. And I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Maybe we'll ask the cards and find out, why has the Kokomo Police Department just forgot about this case? Why are they so nasty to the family? What's going on? What's happening here? So, I do want to say that Karina McClurkin, born September 26, that makes her a Libra, so that's an air sign. So let's keep track of any kind of swords, any kind of air action. Being a Libra, she is very comfortable and happy in social settings. So this is probably a young girl that loved being around her friends, loved being in a group of friends, okay? So not only is the age that she was at this time, so on the cusp of 17, 18 years old, this is probably a girl that loved to hang out. Most, I think, 17-year-old, 18-year-old kids, especially girls, do, but with her being a Libra, that tells me definitely probably even more so for her. Very kind, very creative, doesn't like to argue, doesn't like to have disagreements, okay? So that kind of worries me a little bit, because this is a girl that possibly would go along with something, even if I don't know if she would go along with something if she felt completely uncomfortable, but if she were having an argument with a friend, she might be the type to say, okay, yeah, you win, let's just go there tonight, we'll eat there, kind of a thing. I don't if that makes sense. So Grandma and Dad have a couple of theories. Grandma is drawn to a certain area in Kokomo that she has tried to reach out to Karina, and she feels that it's a possibility that Karina's remains could be in water. I think Dad kind of feels more like on land, okay? So we've got two areas, land or water. We're going to see if we can kind of get that taken care of today and see what the cards say, land or water. I particularly chose these cards here because I didn't want to use my Everyday Witches Tarot, because they are almost all of them having a water visual somewhere. And so I felt that that would be really confusing to use a card or a deck that has water in beach water in almost every card. So I really needed something a little bit more neutral. So we've got the theories of grandma and dad. We've got possible, people related to drugs. Is there something that happened between, some people that deal drugs in this town? Is it something like, did Karina owe money, or is it, what is it? Then there's these multiple stories that have come out. I think that there's a woman in jail who has went on record saying that she knows what happened to Karina, and that she was in fact thrown into a river or a pond or something around Kokomo area. So I believe I came across this YouTube channel called Adventures with Purpose. Okay, so Adventures with Purpose is these two guys that actually traveled to Kokomo, Indiana to help search for Karina. So I don't know if they're divers. This is the first time I've seen their channel. I just happened to find it yesterday when I was desperately trying to find something on Karina, and there isn't hardly anything. But I came across this yesterday, and it's a really nice video. I recommend. I'm going to actually share it in my description box because this is a really good video to watch. It's about an hour and, 10, 15 minutes. But these two guys, they traveled to Kokomo, and they brought all their equipment, and they actually searched about 3 bodies of water around Kokomo. Really good video. I think one of the waters is, I don't know if it was the one that the grandma was kind of drawn to in that area when she's out trying to communicate with Karina. I don't know if they ended up searching that river or whatever it is. I don't know if it's a pond or river. I don't know, but they ended up, this whole episode was them searching for Karina, or searching for any kind of remains for Karina, or of Karina rather. And unfortunately, they did not find anything. And I'm glad that these men went out and did this for this family. But at the same time, I think it's pathetic that they had to, because these are things that the police department could have done themselves a long time ago. But as we know, they are not doing their job. They're being paid quite well, but they're not doing their job, or doing anything for that matter on this case. So I would definitely recommend this video. But the point is that grandma thinks that maybe Karina is in the water. Dad maybe thinks that Karina is more on land. So that's what we're going to try to focus on today. All right, so having said that, let's go ahead and get started. Let me start with my New Era Elements deck. So, New Era Elements deck. Let me light some sage real quick. Okay, New Era Elements, Karina McClurkin. Karina McClurkin. All right, Karina McClurkin. What can we get on Karina McClurkin? Karina. Yeah, guys, this case just really does me in. This case just really. Whew, I don't usually get. All right, well. Interesting that the first card that comes out is Ace of Air. And, right here, Libra, that is Karina's sign. So in this particular, you know what? In all honesty, looking at this card, because the question that I was thinking about in my mind, I was getting ready to say something, but in the back of my mind, I was trying to think about and focus on land or water. Land or water. And this comes out, and not only, let me turn my phone off so I don't hear it. Not only is this an air sign, so it definitely does represent Karina, but this also kind of looks like, oh my God, the sun is like, hold on a second. It kind of looks like a hurricane, like what the hurricane looks like when you're watching the Weather Channel and they're showing like a visual, okay, or a top view, a globe view, or whatever it is, when you can see the hurricane on the screen. That's to me what this looks like. And so honestly, I'm gonna have to kind of, I'm leaning towards what Grandma is saying, and I do think that it's involving water. This just looks, this looks like a hurricane to me. Let's see what we got here. Hurricane. We've got the eye. We've got that eye in the middle. So what is that representing? Right smack dab in the middle. I wonder if there is a body of water in Kokomo, Indiana that is located more in the middle of the town or middle of the city. Also, I'm wondering if this could indicate middle of the body of water. So if it's a big pond, maybe they could focus more in the middle of that area. So I don't know, interesting on this one, Ace of Air. It's her card. She's a Libra. Air, that's a sword. It's usually, speed. I think of wind, things like that associated with air. I think that whatever happened fast. Probably so fast that she didn't even know what had happened to her. I do think it was fast. Yeah, I'm leaning towards water. I'm just trying to take my time on this card, guys, so forgive me for taking a few seconds here to look at it, but yeah, okay. This is exactly why I picked this deck, because I figured there would be some good things. What other clues could you give us, Karina? What other clues can you give us? What other clues can you give us? Oppression. So I honestly, when I see this card, I always see the cage first. That's the first thing that gets my attention, is that cage. And it makes me wonder if, I do feel like, this could be a couple of things. Is it possible that whoever she was with last, did they, I think that whatever they did to her, I think that was fast. Okay, because air, that's usually speed. However, I'm wondering if there was a time prior to that, did they keep her against her will? I kind of feel like there was a time prior to whatever happened that night that she probably knew she was in trouble and had no way of escaping. That's the way I kind of look at this. So, this is a fire sign, so this is usually what they would be considered as the 10 of Wands. This also can indicate she had a lot of things on her shoulder. She was carrying a lot of extra issues at that point in time. So, in all seriousness, if this young lady did have some issues with drug abuse, it is possible that that is coming through in this card as well. Now, I don't know what those issues were, and does not matter really at this point in time. She's a missing person. It should not matter. It shouldn't affect the police of doing their job if that's the case. But I do feel like there were some struggles that she was dealing with prior to this happening. Let me see here. I'm thinking about that wallet. Where would she go without her wallet? Why would she leave her wallet back? Okay, let's keep drawing here. All right. Can you give us any kind of indication of your location? Your location. Swiftness. So, like I said, I do feel like this happened fast. I think that whatever they did, once the act, and I hate even talking like that, but once the act took place, I think it was really, really, really quick. But this is the Eight of Wands, okay, as well. And the Eight of Wands also represents communication. Now, typically it is the traditional tarot card where all the arrows are facing one direction and they're in the air. Sometimes I think of that as a pattern. When you have repeated, things like that, it's a pattern. It's a pattern of behavior. It can also, to me, mean that everybody is on the same page. Everybody is working together, and they are on the same page. So in this case, I kind of feel like it means, and it's the same way here. They have the 8 cars and they're all going in the same direction, right? They're all going together. They're not all haphazard and all in different directions. They're all together. That to me indicates that whoever is behind this, okay, they are definitely all sticking together. That's the way I think about it. And I am also including, I'm going out on a limb, and I'm including the police department as well. So I think that whoever is in on this, I think that the police department is just going along with it. Everybody's on the same page. No one is, thinking twice about anything or objecting to anything. That is sad. Okay. And there's communication. There's communication. This is a communication card. So there is communication. It's obviously not happening between the police and Karina's family. Okay. There's no communication there. But there is communication going on in this case. Okay, so I don't, can we get more information on that? Let's ask about the Kokomo Police Department. What's going on with them? Why aren't they doing their job on this case? Why aren't they looking for Karina actively? Why aren't they interviewing witnesses? Oh, wow. Wow, the Emperor. Interesting. Wow. If there isn't a better card, well, this is a really good card for representing law enforcement. Now, you could pull the Justice. I was going to say, if there isn't a better card, I don't know what it is, but it would probably be the Justice card. But this is to me just as good as the Justice card representing law enforcement. This is amazing. This is somebody in control. This is power. This is authority. This person here is in charge of the case. Okay, so is this, what's his face guy, dude? Richard J. Benzinger? Maybe this is Richard J. Benzinger. Or maybe it's even someone above him. But this is someone on the case. And what are they doing? They're sitting. That's the first thing that I seen. He's sitting. He's just sitting. Just sitting, doing nothing, like a statue. Why isn't he moving? Why isn't he working? Why isn't he doing something, taking initiative on this case? He knows information. He knows information, and he's sitting on it. He's just sitting on it. He's on the same page. He's working with these people. I swear to God, this read right here is corruption to me. This is more of what it is on this case, I think, than anything else, corruption. This is somebody that you don't really want to mess with, though, because if you're their enemy, okay, they're very smart. This person is very intelligent, okay, very, wants to win at all costs, wants to be in charge, wants to be the boss, wants everything to go his way. This can sometimes be an arrogant asshole. Sorry to say that, but that's what it is. Why is he just sitting? What's the reasoning for him not to do anything? Why is he not doing anything on this case? He has been told to stand down. This is the Four of Swords. Wow. You cannot, this is unbelievable the way this reading is going. He has literally been told to stand down. The Four of Swords is a rest card. It's a truce card. It's a I give up. I'm hanging up my swords. I'm hanging it up. I'm done. I give up. The white flag moment. That is what the Four of Swords represents. He has given up. He has resigned to not do anything with this case for whatever reason. He has been communicated. I feel like, honestly, at this point, I think that it is above him. I think that he has been told by the above, for whatever reason, to let this case go. This is a done. This is I'm not doing any more on it. It's over. So I'm not quite sure. Look at all the fours that we're getting here. I'm not quite sure if I don't think that they're still actively doing anything on this case. They may still online say that they're actively searching for Karina. I don't think that they are. I don't think that there's any kind of active work on this case anymore. This card tells me that they're not doing anything. This card tells me that they're not doing anything. He is literally just sitting on information, sitting on things that has been told to him, that has come his way through via communication, whatever it is. He is just sitting on it and he is not doing a damn thing. Why is the next question. Why? What is it about this case? What is it about this case that they have just decided to forget it? Ace of Earth. Money? That's what it would probably be. Earth, Pentacles, material possessions, money, finances, health. So, this to me would indicate that they are possibly, who are they getting paid? Are they getting paid from someone else? Does this have something to do with any kind of illegal goings on in Indiana or Kokomo, Indiana? This is money, guys. This is money. Material possessions. Money is truly an evil situation. It's a really evil thing, and it makes people do horrible things. And so this is kind of where I'm leaning, that there is, okay, let's just ask, does this thing have anything to do with drugs? Does this have anything to do with drugs? Exploration. So we have got Fire, Wands. So this is the Three of Wands. So does this have anything to do with drugs? And we get exploration. We have like a space shuttle or something. Usually it's the man standing on the side of the water, the beach or the ocean or the sea, and he's looking out, and he's either sending his ships out to explore or they're returning, from exploring, but that's usually what it means. So This is definitely, to me, when you explore, you're usually working with other people, right? You have a group of people that you're working with, kind of like the Three of Pentacles, a teamwork. Each person or each individual has his or her own role that contribute to this teamwork of what's being done. So is this, a kind of like a triangular group of individual? Do we have, police, affiliations with drugs, someone else? Is this kind of like a little circle of, or a little triangle of individuals that are kind of working together? Meaning, do the police in Kokomo, do they just kind of turn an eye to certain activity? Possibly. So let me go ahead and put this deck aside, and let's see, what do I want to do? Hoodoo Tarot or Haunted House Tarot? Let me do the Haunted House Tarot and see if we can kind of get more information on location, so that this family can maybe, we know that the police isn't doing their job. They're probably not going to search for this young woman. Maybe we can at least get some information on location, so maybe the family can bring peace to themselves, at least. Okay, so Karina, where are you located? I do feel like she is in water, or at least near water. I'll put it that way. Possibly near water. It's possible that both Grandma and Dad are correct. She could be on land, but near water. But I do think that water is pivotal to her location. Okay. So we've got the scales. Oh, okay, interesting, but they're not balanced. So, justice. In this case, though, I always kind of, because actually in different decks, sometimes the scales can be balanced, sometimes the scales aren't balanced. So it just kind of varies from deck to deck. And I do feel like in this case, it's not balanced. And so that does indicate that there is something amiss in this case. Yeah, guys. Okay, we've got the Fool. Look. We've got her in water, running. At night, okay. I do think that this poor girl is probably, unfortunately no longer here on Earth. But I do feel like there is water. I think Grandma, I think Grandma is probably right about her feelings. I'm looking at this Justice card again, and it's almost like there's three people in this card here. So we've got the main woman, right? And then we've got a lady back here, and then we've got this lady back here. And these two ladies back here, they look pissed. This one doesn't look that friendly. It's almost like a backstabbing, like a, I don't know, but I just need to go back to this for a second. This to me represents the police, okay? This is the justice system. That's what this is. They're looking, they're covering their backs. They're covering their backs. They've got people watching. This is that triangle. This is that triangle, guys. That's why the scales are off balance. There's some corruption going on. I do believe that the reasoning is that they're not working on this case, sad to say. There is some corruption going on with the police department. We've got three people. We've got three, and I don't want to say three people, but three entities, okay? So the Justice Department, possibly, relations with drugs, and someone else. There's three entities or three specific groups that are kind of working together. Neither one of them trust each other. I mean, this one here doesn't look like she trusts her, and vice versa. None of them trust each other, but they are working together. That's why this isn't getting solved. They're not even working on it. They're not even working on it. The fool. She didn't expect this. I don't think that Karina expected this to happen. It was totally, I completely feel like, based off of this card, that she had intended on going back home. She left her wallet there. I don't believe that this was a situation where she wasn't planning on returning home. I think she was. I think she was going to go out to do whatever, and she was going to return and go on with her life. Whether she was going to go to Florida for rehab, I don't know. But her going missing had, I seen another show yesterday, and it was an older show. It was like about 3 years. The episode of this show was about 3 years old, and so this person was indicating that possibly Karina may have left on her own free will, because it's possible that she did not want to go into rehab and was kind of just hiding out. I think it's safe to say that is not the case anymore. I don't think that Karina left on her own free will. I mean, I think she left, but just for the evening. Okay, she did leave, but it was for the evening, and I think that she had full intentions of returning back home. She did not. This was a shock. She was shocked by this. Look at her face. She was literally shocked by what had happened. I think that there was a point in time where she knew she was in trouble, and she could not believe it was happening. Let's see what else we can get. Okay. We've got that Four of Swords again. But in this case, I think we're referring to Karina. We're not referring to the incompetent, corrupt police department. So we've got Karina here, and that just literally does say that, I do think she had some issues that she was dealing with, and a lot of people at that age, I think that is somewhat, I don't want to say normal. I don't want to normalize it, but she did have some issues that she was struggling with, some demons, some inner demons. That's kind of what I'm looking at it. Probably literally needed that rehab just to, even if nothing else, but to detox and rest and sleep, because this is also a rest card. So that tells me that, physically, I think that Karina was not in a good state, physically or mentally. I think that the rehab would have been a nice, really good, fresh start for this young girl. And I think she would have came back home rested, like physically and mentally rested. She was not getting any kind of good rest or sleep. There was just too much stuff going on in her life, and too much stuff kind of gnawing at her. I think that rehab would have been a good start, and she could have, started fresh at that point. So let's see what else we have here. Yeah, so ace. I forgot wands are ace in this deck. So we've got the Ace of Wands. So yeah, this is like igniting a fire, like igniting. I feel like this is, I'm not quite sure. Aces are kind of new beginnings, kind of new ideas and things like that. And so I don't, it's almost kind of like, I feel like this is almost the person or the people who are behind what happened to Karina. So I kind of do feel like this was something that they had come up with that night. It was just something new. I don't, this kind of makes me wonder or kind of question whether or not this was premeditated. I kind of wonder if maybe it was something that just kind of, happened, and possibly didn't plan on it, but maybe for whatever reason that night happened. So Okay, so the people who, let's put these aside for a second. So the people who the police suspect, okay, so grandma, dad, police department, are those people the ones that are responsible for this? Are they in fact responsible for this? Got the Hermit. Honestly, I feel like in this case, the Hermit, I think, is the person who's responsible for this. And I'm wondering if maybe Karina, which I believe is this person back here, possibly seen this guy do something that he didn't want her to see. I wonder if maybe that night was supposed to be just a regular night of whatever, what have you. Possibly something went down. Maybe Karina seen something that she wasn't supposed to see. I think that Ace of Wands means it was something impromptu. It wasn't necessarily planned. And I believe that it was a very shocking event for her. Very shocking. It did happen around water. I think that this possibly indicates that she was trying to run away. But obviously, unfortunately, didn't succeed. But I do think that this person here is the person that is most likely responsible. Now, we're talking about the Hermit. So we could associate some of those attributes to this guy. You know, is he a loner? Is he tall? Is he kind of a short haircut guy? It's possible that this is just basically answering the question, that I asked, or maybe we could apply some of these, like I said, characteristics to this person in real life. I think that it is the person that the police suspect, because there is a light. There's some light on this guy. He's got a light. He's holding a light, so there's some light being shined on this person. If he's not the person that they suspect, he's at least been a suspect at one point. He's been considered at one point or another, or people have heard his name or suggested him being responsible because of that light. I'm looking at that light, and light illuminates things, right? It helps you to see things. So it helps you to look, and people, to me, that indicates people have looked at him already. So I don't think that this is anything surprising. I think that it's something like everybody knows who did it, but no one's doing anything, kind of a thing. That's kind of how I take it. What were you doing that night, Karina? What were you doing that night when you got into the car? Or actually, yes, I think she was seen getting into a car, if I'm not mistaken. Oh. All right, so what were you doing that night? We've got a lot of wand action tonight. We've got a lot of wands are fire, okay? So that is, that inner passion, that spirit, that essence of who you are, goals, wants, desires, wishes. I almost kind of feel like it's just Karina's entire energy coming through. I think she was loaded with energy, loaded with fire, okay? Had goals, had desires in her life, had things that she wanted to achieve and do and accomplish. And I think that is actually coming out in this reading tonight. We've got the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands can sometimes be defensive, but in this situation, I don't think that that's what it means at all. I kind of feel like it's going back to that night. Same thing with the Fool. She was kind of running. I think that something happened, and I'm going to see if I can pull more cards to kind of get to what happened that night, or to why this happened and to where she is. But I do feel like whatever took place, it's possible that she did try to get away at a certain point. I think she did. I think she tried to get away, but they went after her. And there was more than one. I do feel like there was more than one because of this here. The Six of Wands. So hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I couldn't tell if they were counting her as the sixth person or if they had 6 people down here, but I think they're counting her. So we've got 6 people total. So that tells me that there's definitely more than one. There might be that one person that's in charge, like the main person, but I do think that there is at least a group of people that know what happened to Karina that night. And just like that 8 of wands, they're all in the same direction. They're all sticking together. They're not saying a word. They are sticking together. They're as thick as thieves. So that is, I think, part of what's happening in this case too, besides the corruption of the police department and possibly just overall negligence. But I think that, in order to make an arrest, and make an arrest that's going to stick in a trial in the future, okay, I understand that you have to have some evidence, and circumstantial evidence sometimes doesn't cut it. You need factual evidence, you need DNA, you need sometimes witnesses. If a person doesn't admit that they're guilty, of course, right? So if you plan on taking something to trial, you want to make sure that you have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed so that you have a case that's going to stick in the future. So regardless of whether or not they have that, but let's just say that was that was the reason why they weren't making an arrest. I still feel like there's some evidence that could be there's evidence that they're neglecting. They're not taking DNA samples of certain things that they could be. So I feel like in this, I don't know, guys. I'm just so heartbroken. I'm just defeated. I feel just not defeated, depleted. I'm depleted on this one. This case is just so ridiculously sad. It frustrates me so bad. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I don't know if they could get... I guess my whole point of that spiel was, I wonder if there's anybody in that group that would talk. I don't know if the police would even acknowledge anything that anybody said, or even take it seriously, or even look into it at this point in time. But I feel like this whole group is sticking together. But if one of those people, if you guys are watching this video, if any of you that were involved in this situation are watching this video, do the right thing. Do the right thing, because here's the thing, you can kind of live a normal life knowing something this heinous took place, but we're only on this earth for a very, very short time. We're only here for a very short time, and then our spirit passes over to the next place, okay? And, that's the one that you don't want to take anything negative from here with you. It's good to kind of cleanse your consciousness and, kind of make amends for it, because you really don't want to take that kind of stuff over to the next realm with you. And I just really beg you guys, or one of you, to be a human being and please give some information to the police. Whatever information that you have, even if it's little, even if it's not anything that you deem that's important, just give it to the police and see what the police do. Maybe they'll actually work on the case. I don't know. One would hope, but just consider it. Let's see what else we have. Can't remember. Yeah, okay, so we've got the king. Is this the King of Swords? The King of Swords. We've got a couple of powerful men. We've got the Emperor and we've got the King of Swords. Both of these guys are intelligent. I feel like this is that triangle. We're dealing with that triangle, okay? I think we've got the law enforcement, possibly drug people, possibly someone else. I don't know what the third person is, but we've got people. I think that the emperor represented the leader of the law enforcement, and this person, I think, possibly represents the leader of possibly the drug. So, again, we've got somebody very intelligent. Okay, this is somebody who is very cold, very you know calculating, patient, planning. This is somebody who is a very good game player. Okay, he knows his next move. He knows what move he's gonna do. He knows how to win the game. This is somebody who you really don't stand a chance in trying to beat. Okay. So if this is who the police are working with, then this is scary. This is somebody that can be very dark. I consider especially this one a fairly dark card because of just the angels, or the angel wings, and the pale face, and the bloody scratches on his face. Interesting about the scratches, I've never noticed that before, so I wonder if this person could have facial scars. Dresses nicely. Dark hair. But this is definitely someone who you don't want to mess with. So I am 56 minutes in, and I haven't really pulled a whole lot of cards, so I do kind of feel like I want to do a regular pull and see what kind of information we can get about what happened that night. So Karina, can you tell us what happened that night? I'm sorry guys, I kind of ran off the deep end talking on that one card earlier. I'm just so irritated and so angry. This one here just irritates the hell out of me. Let's see. All right. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that on this bottom row. All right, so right away I'm looking at the tower, and I feel that was definitely what happened that night, possibly even before. This could have been just the association with these people entering Karina's life that brought this moment to happen, to fruition. I don't know who these associations were, or these friends. I don't know if they were high school friends, or whoever this group of people were that she went with that night, because I do believe that she did get into a car, and she planned on probably getting into a car with someone to go someplace quickly and then to go back home. That's what I think. And I do think that she knew these people, or she knew this individual. And I feel like this is definitely the result of these people being in her life, or entering into her life. It was just a fiasco. It was just devastating. It really just, this was really definitely one of those times when she had these people not in her life, she'd still be here. So I do think that is just indicative of everybody in her life at that time. So we've got the Three of Swords, which is, being stabbed in the back. You've got heartache, devastation. This is not a good one. And so I do kind of feel like there's a lot of devastation here. I don't think this is just for Karina herself. I don't think this is just for the this is everyone involved in this case. There is a lot of heartbreak all the way around for Karina, for Karina's family, her dad, her grandmother, all these individual people that know and love this girl. I'm just trying to look at this guy here, and I do notice that he's wearing gloves, because I do, even though this isn't a heartbreak card, I do feel like this is Karina, and I do feel like this is definitely a confirmation that grandma and dad are correct. Like I said, I've said it before in this video that I do feel like Karina is no longer here on this earth. You know, and I definitely think that this is one of those cards that kind of confirms that for me anyways. And I going to this one here, there's a lot of twos, a couple twos, couple threes here, but I'm going to this one here. The lot of wands, man, tons of wand energy this tonight. Wands and swords. I don't think I drew not one cup card tonight. They've all been wands, swords, and maybe one or two pentacles. Wands and swords. Fire and air. Fire and air. Fire and air. Okay. I think this here is grandma. I think that the Ouija board, I think this is her saying that she knows that her grandma tries to communicate with her, and I think this is grandma trying to communicate with her. And I the fact that this is coming out tells me that Karina probably does know that she is communicating with her. You know, I think I did watch that where grandma kind of feels drawn to a certain spot in that area. And look what we've got. We've got water in the background. We've got the water. So we've got grandma going to a certain area at night under the moonlight trying to communicate with her granddaughter. All I can say here is that we've got water again. I do feel like the water, and even look at this one here, we've got water again. We've got a lot of water, guys, in these cards, and these aren't water cards. These are all different types of images, but I'm getting enough images of water or bodies of water to feel like, yeah, that's what they need to look at, is bodies of water. To me, the way I look at this one here and this one, this is big. This is like a big body. This isn't like a little pond, a neighborhood pond or something, or a little river. To me, this is something that's bigger. I would probably say that whatever is the biggest body of water in that area, they might need to focus on that, because to me this looks like a lake from a distance. That's like a lake water. And this here, this is to me a big body of water. I mean, look at those waves back there. That's a big body of water. And I do think it happened at night. We've got a full moon here. We've got, you know, darkness here. So I do think that this is something that happened at night. But I'm looking at this blindfold here, and to me that makes me feel like it's possible that even Karina doesn't know exactly where she's at. She might be a little bit confused as far as the location. It's possible it's just because just the whole ordeal and she's confused, or possibly they literally blindfolded her, and she doesn't know exactly, but she could hear. To me, this is like her saying, I could hear water behind me. I could hear water behind me, and it was dark. But I couldn't see anything. I could tell it was dark, but I couldn't see where I was at, but I knew that there was water around. That's kind of what I'm getting from this card tonight. Interesting, because we've got the Queen of Wands and we've got the Empress. So something's going on with a motherly figure. I don't know if that's I don't. Now, I know that we have a grandma, and I know that we have dad. I don't know where mom is. So if anybody knows, you can, feel free to comment in the comment section. Is mom not in the picture? Is mom not alive? Because if she's not alive, I kind of feel like that is a potential of who she is with at this point. Look at this woman here just kind of sitting there waiting. It's almost like when you look at these here, side by side, if you've got this one here, it's like she's almost coming downstairs. She's coming downstairs, and here's this person here waiting for her. Yeah, that's kind of the way I look at these two cards. It's like, to me, that's like she's looking at her. I mean, if you look at the way these cards are laid out, she's looking at her coming down the stairs and waiting on her. This is somebody I feel like I said, I don't know what's going on with Karina's biological mother. But like I said, I have seen grandma, I have seen dad, I have not seen mother, so I don't know what's going on with that, but I do feel like there's something significant about this female presence here. And this woman here has reddish hair. So she has reddish hair. If I can get a good image here so that you can see. She has kind of like reddish hair. She is wearing a red gown. But literally the way I pulled it out, she's sitting here at the piano, and here comes, to me, that's Karina. Here comes Karina, and she's walking down. They both have the light things there. Yeah. And then we have those scales again. We have the scales again. So we've got exchange. I think now we're kind of going back. I'm a little bit, I don't know if we're talking about, I feel like this is Karina though. I was going to say I'm almost tempted to go back to the police and there's maybe an exchange of money or finances. But I do feel like this is not that. I feel like we've left the justice system and all that stuff behind us. I think this drawing here is in particular about Karina. And so I kind of wonder, was there's justice? Is this one of the reasons why this happened to begin with? Was there something owed to someone? Was there a give and a take? Was there money being owed or something like that? Now I kind of feel like it's because of that Hermit card. I feel like there's something that she's seen that she wasn't supposed to see. But there also might be another added part to it. It might be a layered thing. I don't know. But this would indicate something to do with money. So I think it could be one or the other, or possibly both. And then we have the Empress. So we've got the Mother card. So sometimes this can indicate, pregnancy. Unfortunately, I don't know. Unfortunately, you don't have Karina here, so we don't know. Interesting here, though. Really quick here. We've got. Let's look at these cards here real quick for a second. I know we're already an hour and 8 minutes into this, but let's look at these cards really quick. We've got a 3, and the Queen of Wands. We've got wands. To me, this is Karina. This is Mom. Okay? I don't know where Mom is, but I'm going to take a wild guess and say this is Mom. And we've got another Mom here. We've got the Empress. We've got 3. So do we have 3 generations? Do we have a possible... I don't even want to say this because it's so... I've never seen it mentioned anywhere. I've never seen anybody say anything about this. We've got 3 generations here, so who is this one? I'll just put it that way. I don't even want to... So I do think this is Mom, Karina, and then, you fill in the blank. What's next? Is this a possible motive as well? Is this something that, interesting. So, Very interesting. All right, I know I'm an hour and 10 minutes in, but I do want to pull a couple of these hoodoo cards and see. I'm asking specifically about location. Specifically about location. Specifically about location. Okay. What can we get on location? What can we get on location? Specifically about location. That is what we're looking for. 5 of baskets, so 5 of cups. Split tongue. Water. Water, guys. Water. Fishing. Who's the Black Hermit? What's that? A 1? That's the Magician. Father of Knives. I think we've got a big body of water. I would say, honestly, if I were to suggest a place to look, it would be the biggest body of water in that area. That is what I'm pulling from this reading. Definitely water. If it's land, it could be land, but it's got to be land that's near water. Okay, so but I feel like it's more. I agree with Grandma. They have to be careful though, because they're getting a lot of lies being told to them. This is definitely that split, tongue kind of card. So I think that in five of swords is kind of like combativeness, fighting, arguing. I kind of feel like this is the what they're dealing with as far as the media, justice system, anything like that. So I would say don't take what they say, take it with a grain of salt is what I'm saying with you or to you. The Magician, Father of Knives, the Father of Baskets. So we've got two kings here. But what I'm really looking at is the 6 of Knives, okay, which is the 6 of Swords. This is a boat, okay. I feel like, and we've got the King of Cups, okay. King of Cups right here in the back is fish hanging up. We've got a boat back there, like a canoe type thing. We've got a canoe type thing here. I don't think that you can get to Karina you've got to get to her by boat. You cannot get out to where she's at without a boat or some sort of that is, I think, what was used, I think, to either, I don't know, well, I take that back. I don't know if it was used to put her in the body of water or if just because of over time, that is where she has unfortunately landed. But I do think that in order to find her, you need a boat at this point in time. We've got a fisherman here, so that kind of gives me hope that it's a possible. To me, is there a big large body of water where people fish in Kokomo? Is there a big fishing spot? Lots of fish, because this man has a lot of fish hanging behind him, and he's got a boat full of fish. So is there any area where people like to go and fish? And it's got to be big. That could be a potential, I think, possible area. So, I don't think this is going to be an easy. We've got 2 5s here, the 5 of basket, 5 of knives. 5s aren't good. This is going to be, you guys have an uphill battle. You're going to have to do, I hate to say this, but you're going to have to do most of it on your own, okay, with the help of friends, family. But you're probably going to have to solve this case on your own, because I hate saying this to you, but I don't feel like the police at this point are going to help at all, which you probably know that already, because we're going on, year 4, year 5, so you probably are aware that they're not going to help. But you're being also fed lies, so don't believe a lot of the things that they're telling you, as well as some of the stories. I think that some are true, some are not, so you just kind of have to put that aside and focus on maybe. I do think that body of water is definitely important. And then we have the Father of the Knives, the Father of Swords. this here, I think this person, whoever this father of knives is, I think it's the police. I think it's that Richard Benninger or whatever the hell his name is. I'd stay away from him. I wouldn't even give him the time of day. I really wouldn't. I would just try to focus on, finding Karina by as much as you can on your own. And I think with this magician, I think you guys are capable of doing it. You guys are capable of doing this, and I think this is I've never said this before. I hate to say this, but you guys are going to have to do it on your own and maybe rely on help from people around you, people that you can trust, loved ones, friends, family, people that came, like those guys that came to Kokomo and helped search for Karina. Those are the types of people that you can trust and can help you. But when the magician comes up, that tells me you have the ability to be successful in doing what you set out to do. You have the tools. You may not see how you have the tools, but you do have the tools and they are available to you. Make it work, because I do feel like you could find Karina, but you're going to have to find her without the help of the police. I don't know if this case is ever going to be, I don't know if it's ever going to be put to rest in the court of law. But at the very least, if you could potentially just even bring Karina home and have a proper burial for her and at least have some sort of closure, that would be better than nothing. So let's just pray that this happens. And I'm going to continue doing these videos for Karina and keep pulling cards on a regular basis. Guys, I'm disgusted with this case. I'm really just disgusted with the police and heartbroken about Karina. So again, if anybody has any kind of tips or any kind of information, I'm going to have all of that stuff put in the description box. I'm also going to include that video that I watched and some other information on Karina, like her case number and whatnot. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry that it's an hour and 17 minutes long. I couldn't help it. And I know I babble on and on and on. But anyway, guys, until next week, have a wonderful Saturday, Sunday. I don't know when this is going to go up. But have a wonderful day, and I will see you next week. Thank you.